2 minutes early, 3 minutes early, what difference does it make? You and I are going to talk about fishing and outdoors all the entire time anyway. So there you are. Gail will adjust the lighting, I'm sure, when she gets here. She's upstairs right now, and that's okay. And she'll guide me in the righteous paths over the next 30 minutes. Well, what do you take a look at your phone there, honey, and see what you think?
I will.
Okay. All right. So here we go. So it's Monday, for goodness sake. It's 6:30. Welcome to live Facebook of O'Neill Outside with Gail in the background. We're going to give away a saw. Let me show you. And boy, I have some great reports about the saw from people that we've given it to, and we're going to give one of those away before the program ends in about 30 minutes or so. So we're glad you joined us. Give me a lot of those little blue thumbs. It makes me feel appreciated, and I thank you very much. So I have something to pass along to you today, which I think will may be of some interest to you. And if you have some things you'd like to discuss, pass them along to Gail, and she will let me know. You already got something?
Not yet.
Okay.
Hold on.
All right. This week on the O'Neill Outside early morning, 4 a.m. to 6 a.m. show on WSB and stations all over the country, I thought this was great. A fellow called and said, and we can make this thing really work. He asked me, and this is strictly from me now and the things I've heard from guides and the things that I've witnessed in my own little brief tournament career. And he said, I have a tournament today on a major reservoir that I've never been on before. I haven't had a chance to practice. And he said, what do I do? And my response is, if you don't have a place, you don't have any idea about where to go, the tournament starts and you begin, then what you should do is via a map, okay, find some current. Find somewhere there's some water flowing, a major creek, a river, whatever. If I were going to the lake he mentioned, I would go up the river. Find current. Then you can find individual fish along that narrow way. And you know which way they're pointed. They're pointed upstream. You know where they're located because they're behind something to reduce the current, okay? They aren't in gigantic schools that you can either zero from or catch a lot from. And they don't know there's a lake down there below stream, so they're there for their lives. Find some current. And if it's not too muddy, you're fine. Find that current and that stained water that's usually in that current, in that river, in that stream. If you can find that current, then you can use a greater variety of colors of baits. Dark colored worms, any color spinnerbait is fine as long as it's chartreuse. And, then work your way out as the day begins to the first point out of the current. But recognize that once you go upriver, you're committed. I have never, ever, in my brief tournament career, I have never heard of anyone catching a largemouth or a spotted bass that qualifies for tournament competition when the big engine's running. If that big engine's running, you're not catching, you're traveling. Go upriver and stay there. Let's note for a moment. Most bass tournaments today, and then I'll get away from the tournament schedule because the audience right now is really not. This audience is really not a tournament fisherman. You only have to get 5 bites to qualify very well in a tournament. Okay. What's this from Shane Sellers?
The picture of the bass.
Oh,
on
with
your
the
page,
with a snake.
That little bitty snake
Uh-huh.
that even I would not be afraid of.
Yeah.
But he got bit by a rattlesnake, so he has. Yeah, he's got reason to understand that.
Venomous snakes are not your friends. It's funny. Years ago, we had a problem with our well pump, and two guys showed up. I called them, and they promptly came by from the company that put the well in, and they ended up fixing it, of course. But these two big fellas in the truck that day, those two guys, together they weighed at least 500 pounds. And when they pulled up, I heard the truck coming, and they pulled up, and I walked out to the little parking lot here next to the barn, parking area, and there was a copperhead out there. And I told them, I said, I got a copperhead here, just a second, and I had a broom, I think it was a little broom, and I directed that copperhead away and out of the parking lot. There's 500 pounds of grown men would not get out of the truck. And that's okay. I'm not putting them down for it because be careful. Yeah, okay. All right. You know something? What, honey? What?
Allison said, "You look horrible with that hairdo. You look like Donald Trump."
Oh.
She wants you to change your hat.
Well, okay. You have to get me a hat.
Let me go find you a hat.
Go find me a hat.
I'll go find you a hat. Okay. We thought it was funny.
This is not a serious program. This is just O'Neill on Facebook. So there's Woman Williams back there. Into the cedar closet. There's some hats up there. Oh, she'll get one. Okay, be sure and join us on Saturday morning, 4 a.m. to 6 a.m. on WSB, AM 750 on your AM dial, and 95.5 on your FM dial, 4 a.m. to 6 a.m. You need to get up and listen, or listen on Facebook. After all, if you were on, I would listen.
Ow.
Well, I might listen.
Damn.
What's the matter, honey?
I just whacked my knee on those things.
Oh, well, my dumbbells are here in the... Oh.
There.
Is this the way you're supposed to wear this?
I have no idea. I just got a different hat.
Okay. That's my Conus hat, Conus Optics.
Yeah, there you go.
I've had Conus Optics as a sponsor for a long, long time. See here?
That's what I just whacked my
Not that I
toe
use
on.
it all that often, but I keep some 20s and 30s over here next to
my toes.
for Gail to stumble upon, and for me to try to recapture my youth. It's not working. Oh, here, just a second. That wasn't really smart to pick that up right now.
Oh my gosh, your arm.
Yeah, I have a
pain pill.
no. Later.
Will you tell me if I do?
I will. I promise. If I need a pain pill, I'll tell you. Okay.
He's going to the doctor next week. He's looking at surgery, just so you know.
About 25 or 30 years ago, I had rotator cuff surgery on this shoulder, and then 6 or 7 years later on that shoulder. Anyway, I don't want to go through it. I think I've had 12 or 13 surgeries. But this one right now, the oldest one, is going to have some attention or something like that. It's going to have some attention a little later. Be sure and stay on because I have to be careful. Axis Reciprocating Saw by Works. And they're kind enough to give us these things so that we can give them away to guys that are tuned into the show. Okay, what else? Oh, all right. Find Current. That's the best way if you haven't visited. Now, there's something that you can do ahead of time if you're going to fish a lake, you're going to spend some time, a vacation time, saltwater, freshwater, wherever the case might be, there's something that you can do if you know that you're going to the Georgia coast and spend a couple of weeks for vacation, you're going to the Gulf Coast, or go to the Florida Panhandle, whatever the case might be, and you're going to go fishing. You're going to spend a couple of weeks and you're going to catch some fish while you're there. Okay, ahead of time, go down there and fish a couple of days with a guide, or go to the particular lake where you've rented a cabin or a camper and spend some time with him and tell him ahead of time, I'm going to be visiting here, vacationing, and I'm going to go fishing several times, and so if I'd like to hire you for a day or two and let you show me the lake and what to catch and where to go and what to use and so on. Otherwise, go up the river, and I mean up where there's current. Okay, and you can go to a major creek that feeds the lake and get current also. Is it lead pipe cinch #1 guaranteed way for you to catch them? No, it's not. That never is, unless you're really good. But it's better than putting the boat in, getting in a boat with your partner, truck's been parked, and you look at each other and say, what do you want to do now? I don't know. What do you want to do?
That sounds like us on the weekend. Yes.
Yeah, Gail and I live rather remotely. Our location, that is, we're together all the time, but we live in the mountains of North Georgia, and it's not like we have a big estate. By no means. It's only 8 acres, but everyone in this area has
straight downhill.
Yes, all downhill, and our little piece of property backs up to what's called the Dawson Forest, or the Dawson Wildlife Management Area, which I think, and it really doesn't matter, but I think it's somewhere around 27,000 acres of forest in which nothing will ever be built. Certainly not in my lifetime. So you can't see another house from our house. So we're very, very fortunate in that, and to have located this some years ago. Okay, anything?
No, but we need for you to like and
Oh.
share, and
Okay.
then if you want to be,
Listen now.
if you want to win that works thing, over
Okay.
there,
If you want to win the Works Tools,
yeah, ask a question. Be active on the page.
Oh, there you are.
You know, that kind of thing.
I like those blue thumbs too.
Yes, absolutely.
That doesn't have anything with winning anything, but those blue thumbs.
But if ask a question. I mean, I don't know who's going to win that thing, but somebody is.
Yeah, Karen or somebody will pick the winner later on.
Yes.
So, all right.
So just ask questions and be active. I'm not saying that's what wins.
No,
I'm just saying
it doesn't.
do it.
Okay.
And stay on here until we finish.
I hope you're listening to this.
Yeah, stay on here until we finish. You must claim your prize within 2 weeks
Okay.
of winning,
2 weeks.
and give us about 2 weeks to get it to you.
2 weeks.
Although it doesn't usually take that long.
No, okay.
How's that?
Okay.
Good.
And several of the people who have won the reciprocating saw from Works tell us that they get it right away and they appreciate it very much and already put it to good use. Okay. Enough about that sort of thing and self-promotion with the television show, the radio program, all of those things that we do. I wish you would, maybe if you'll go to o'neilloutside.com, the website, you can watch all the television shows there under o'neilloutside.com/television. But you can also go to and watch and read about the Medal of Honor. The Medal of Honor symbol there on the homepage. It's inspiring, to no doubt, that in the history of this country, there's been 3,500 plus men and women that have been awarded the Medal of Honor. And if you will read those, as I have, virtually every one of them, and I read one every Saturday morning on the radio show. I do that because, and you know the reasons why. So there you are. Anything going on? No?
No.
No. Okay. All right.
Okay, wait a minute. What was the first TV channel you were on?
Oh.
The first TV channel? Oh,
the
man.
question is first TV channel I was on. This was 1981, I believe, something of that nature, when cable was just beginning. And a fellow by the name of Steve Hines, who was a television producer for Atlanta Cable. What was the name of it? The Metro Channel
Sports.
Cable.
No.
Yeah, Metro Channel Sports.
Yeah.
And the story goes, he had telephoned, he was a television producer, and he wanted to do, it was his idea to have a little 15-minute interview show on local cable. Thank goodness. And he had telephoned the local...
And that was in conjunction with a little sports show that they had.
Yeah,
like,
they had
talking about
I'm about to tell them, it
basketball
was
and all
called
that
the Metro Channel Sports Report.
Yes.
That was
Okay.
about
I think
basketball
you
and
would leave
football
that
and
out.
everything. So he wanted to add 15 minutes of it, and he telephoned a local writer for the Atlanta Journal and Constitution and said, can you do this show with us? And this local writer said, no, I already had a little exposure. But this writer said, I can't do it, but I know who can. And Steve Hines telephoned me, thank goodness, and we started a little show. It was a 15-minute local interview show called the Metro Channel Sports Fishing Report. Be sure and share and forward and share. Share and what?
Share and like and share.
Like and share. And so that was the beginning of the show. The Metro Channel Sports Fishing Report, 15 minutes. Next, we took that show to channel, it was called, I don't remember the name of the channel, but it was Channel 69 in Atlanta. And people in Atlanta say Atlanta, okay. And then we took it to local affiliates all across Georgia, Columbus, Macon, and Augusta, and all around. And then finally, what was the first cable? It was on cable, on Fox Sports. No,
That was
Fox
16.
Sports Southeast. Something.
There's been so many.
There's been lots, okay? And that was 1981, 1982, 1983. I'm getting corrected. 1983. It seems like it's a long time ago. It was really. And it went from there to
Metro
its
Channel 13.
yeah, Metro Channel. And it went from that to now it's on regional sports channels all over the country, and Prime TV and YouTube TV. But you can watch each and every show without the commercials. You have the billboards, but without the commercials at O'NeillOutside.com. And this is nice. The Big Green Egg and Swaggerty's cooking segments are in each one of those shows that you can watch on O'NeillOutside.com with the recipe. It's all printed out for you. Excellent suggestions from Big Green Egg and from Swaggerty's Sausage. And there you are.
What's your favorite North Georgia trout stream?
Ooh, my favorite North Georgia trout stream. That's easy. What very well may be, of course I hadn't fished them all, what very well may be the best mountain trout stream in the eastern United States is a place called the Soquie River, Soque, and it's owned. 2 miles of that river is owned and managed by. Help me, I just went blank.
Black Hawk.
Black Hawk Fly Fishing. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm old. Black Hawk Fly Fishing.
I mean, you
Look
were
them
there
up.
2 days
I was just
ago.
there 2 days ago. Every year I visit, one of my sponsors is Bojangles, and we go to a fundraiser at Bojangles in Charlotte, North Carolina, and their suppliers and the people at Bojangles, and they bid on trips and you know how it works, photos and trips and trophies and merchandise, and every year people will bid big money to go trout fishing with me at Black Hawk. And I think these last guys paid $6,000 for this week. And I went on Thursday of this week. We went to Black Hawk, and without all the details, there were 2 guys that fished. I don't fish. I'm the photographer. And one guy caught a 24-inch rainbow, and the other guy caught a 24-inch brown and a 26-inch rainbow. Wow. I mean, these aren't 10 and 12-inch squealers. These are giants. And they were not what we would call seasoned trout anglers. It's all fly fishing. It's all barbless hooks. It's all fly gear. And they caught those monsters along with many, many, many others. The average rainbow is probably 18 to 20. The average brown is 20 to 24. So anyway, but I will tell you that on the Soquet River at Black Hawk Fly Fishing, look them up and go. You owe it to yourself. The real big browns, you hook them and say, "Uh-oh, I've got one of the big ones on," and then he spools you and the hook breaks off. So, okay. You can look at O'Neill Outside also on YouTube. Go to YouTube, type in O'Neill Outside, and you'll get as much as you can stand of O'Neill. Anything going on?
Let's see. Your path has brought you to lots of people.
Yes.
Thank you. I always enjoy what you do.
Well, good. Thank you
And
very,
then,
very much.
I found you about 15 years ago or so. I always loved your show. I
Mm-hmm.
really enjoyed learning about muzzleloaders.
Okay.
I found my CVA Acura V2, and my kids appreciate the shows. Do you still have them online? I don't know exactly.
Yes,
what
I
that-
still have CVA.
Yes.
They've been a sponsor for
Many years.
30-some years. The longest running sponsor for O'Neill Outside Television and radio and that combination, the longest running sponsor is True Turn. True Turn hooks and Roadrunner lures, and they will be here with me until I'm not here doing it any longer. So it's a class act. True Turn. Interesting story. Do I have time to tell the story
I
about?
don't know, but somebody says, I think basically his question is, what separates the top guys from the bottom tier, if you want to answer.
What separates the top guys, bass fishermen, from the bottom?
I think that's what he's asking.
Okay, well, I
He
can
goes
comment
into
on
a
that.
lot of- yeah.
The guy who goes most often is the guy generally who's the best bass fisherman, and he understands it. He understands what the fish will do when the surface temperature is 77 versus the surface temperature of 61. He will understand because of his experience. He'll know what to use when the water is clear versus when the water is stained. He goes and goes and goes and goes, and that's the guy. I remember there was a fisherman years ago. He was a fabulous fisherman. He's passed away now. His name was Junior Collis, and he won tournaments, and he was an outstanding fisherman. He was the first Georgian to qualify for, and he was in the first Bassmasters Classic. This was his schedule as I understood it at the time, and that is the following. He fished every Saturday, every Sunday, every holiday, every vacation day. He probably spent 150 days bass fishing, and he understood it. okay? You don't have to be a great athlete. You have to understand if the surface temperature is 84 degrees, it's summertime, it's hot, that you don't fish for bass in 3 feet of water. It's doubtful that that's going to pay off for you. But you should maybe be fishing for bass in water that's 35 feet of water in the trees. I remember I fished one time with a guy who at Lanier, and I use Lanier because Lanier is a mountain lake. All right, it's 37,000 acres, and they're all across the Appalachians, East Tennessee, North and South Carolina, Virginia, Kentucky. These are mountain lakes, okay? And I fished with him. I won't tell you his name because it doesn't matter, but he located a stand. He would locate stands of trees. Here's a for instance for you. When they built Lake Lanier, just like they built all the other lakes, with they being the Corps of Engineers, they didn't cut all the trees down. No. They topped the trees out at a level underneath the level that they knew the lake would spin. Now, at Lake Lanier, and I use that often, and you can find that out where you go fishing, the sea level at Lake Lanier is 10,070. That's the elevation. They cut all the trees at 10,050. So at 20 feet deep and below, and many other places too, there's a whole they've all rotted, most of them rotted away by now, but there was a forest there. And I fished with a guy one time, and buddy, he was good. And he knew where those stands of trees were that were isolated. They were on a side of a point next to an old creek channel, and the trees came up to within 20 feet of the surface, but around them was an open field or a creek channel or an old river channel. So this was a stand of trees in the forest that was a bit isolated. And when he would cast his 6 or 8 pound test line with a 4-inch worm into those trees, each cast would sometimes take 30 minutes because he would reel it up to a limb and then let it go back down again and then work its way back up to that limb that might have been the top limb in that tree and let it go back down again. There wasn't necessary for him to reel up and make another cast or reel up and make another cast. He kept his bait on site where the fish were likely to be. And he won $100,000 in that tournament. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, we need to run through these. Okay?
All right, go.
Okay, does your YouTube channel have all your old videos as well? It's a yes or no.
Yes, pretty much.
Okay.
Well, not back 35 years ago, probably.
Nobody has those, not even us.
Right, but a long time.
Okay, what river runs through Helen, Georgia?
This Blue Ridge,
Okay.
that ends up being in the Soquel River.
Okay.
I like Carter's Lake.
Any
Go ahead.
tips on finding largemouth in July? Offshore cover?
Certainly, the long points where people have cut down trees and made big brush piles on long points on the edge of channels that are, other than the few weeks that the largemouth bass, male and female, spend in shallow water, they spend the rest of their lives in deep water. Maybe you should fish there. In my case, I think most of the bass that live in these Clearwater Mountain lakes after June the 15th and into July, August, and September, and then later in the early part of October with high temperatures, those fish live in water that's 35 to 50 feet deep. That's when you spoon them up. Use a jigging spoon. In October, that's the one, a jigging spoon. I fished tournaments years ago at Lake Martin in Alabama, and I fished 3 days. And it was just a club tournament. It wasn't a big deal. I wasn't up against the really champions. Just a club tournament. But in 3 days, using a jigging spoon in October, I caught 270 bass. I found big schools of bass, and they were 35 feet deep, and I caught one after another. Oh, has it been 30 minutes already?
Yes, it has. Okay. Answer this. What's the best way to get into trout fishing? And then we're gonna give everybody a chance to win that thing.
Okay. What's the best way to get into bass fishing? Trout fishing?
Yes.
Fish water that has trout in it. Duh. If you fish streams without trout, you won't. And again, I depend and recommend highly that you hire guides. It's their purpose in life to show you how to catch fish. Carp, stripers, largemouth, and trout. And trout, quite frankly, is an art form. Fishing for trout with a fly rod is an art form. And it's repetitive over and over and over and over again. And I tip my CONUS hat to those guys who are outstanding trout fishermen, because theirs is a singular. It's private. You don't trout fish standing shoulder to shoulder with someone like you would for bass or stripers. And it's very, very well done. Highly respectful for fly fishermen for trout, especially the dry fly. Oh, wow. Okay, anything else?
No, I think all we're doing right now is waiting on the.
Okay. Everybody stay right there now.
Yeah, because we're gonna.
So we're going to announce the winner.
And
I will tell you that. Am I interrupting you? I'm sorry.
Yes, you are, but go ahead.
No, I'm just going to say, see that redfish back there? That booger weighed 51 pounds. Biggest redfish I ever caught. That's a fiberglass model of the fish. I returned that redfish. I was at Cocoa Beach in the Indian River.
When was the last time you actually caught and kept a fish? I mean, you always.
When is the last time I caught and kept a fish?
Yeah.
In Alabama at Shorter.
And what did you keep?
I kept some small bass. I was fishing in a fellow's 100-and-something acre lake for a few days, and his rule was, in management of the lake and the bass in it, you had to keep everything under 14 inches.
Did you eat them?
Yes.
Absolutely. Okay.
Oh, gosh, yes.
Okay, so
But-
we're waiting on notification.
Okay.
If you are the winner.
Okay. Let's pick out the winner, and I'll say all that.
Okay.
I mean, let's let
I'm
whenever.
waiting on that to be done.
Okay.
Okay. If you are the winner, you need to be in touch with us right away if you can. Hopefully, you're still on the, you're still with us. You need to be in touch with us within 2 weeks.
Okay.
If you don't get in touch with us within 2 weeks, you're going to lose your prize. Okay. Then you're going to, it'll take about 2 weeks for you to get your prize. Probably not even that long.
Okay.
And I think, if I'm not, the winner is.
Okay.
a young
Stand
man.
by, everybody.
I think this is a young man,
Uh-huh.
according to his picture. His name is Brandon. Wait a minute, hold on. Brandon Stoller. I think. Hold on. Brandon. Shoot, I lost my page. Okay.
Brandon
Stoller. Stahler is the winner.
Brandon Stoller. All right, Brandon, you need to be in touch with and send your contact information to Houston Houston, Houston at o'neilloutside.com.
And what did he win?
And he won a Works reciprocating saw, Works Tools, one of the sponsors of the program, and some really nice people. I mean, you know, I get treated all different ways.
Okay, so hopefully Brandon will be in time.
There's Brandon right now. He's still watching. Brandyn, huh?
Yeah, is that right? Yeah, Brandon.
Brandon Stoller.
Yeah.
You are the winner of the reciprocating saw. Thank you for joining us. I guess we've been on quite long enough, haven't we?
Yeah, it's been 30 minutes.
Okay.
We wish everybody a wonderful July the 4th.
Yes. I will pass along to you if you want to sleep in. This coming Saturday morning, July the 3rd, we will not be live on WSB Radio and 95.5 FM and 750 AM. We're taking the Saturday off. Isn't that nice?
I think it's really nice.
I think it's wonderful. That's wonderful.
So then, but we will be on July the 5th.
Yes, we'll be
That
back
will
here
be
next Monday.
That Monday after the 4th.
Okay.
So there we go.
One more thing to pass along to you. Ready? Listen now. Get your facts first. You can distort. You can destroy. Hey, you can
Start over.
Get your facts first. You can distort them as you please. And this is not political, but
I think I might have something to say about that, but go ahead. You know,
if you're too busy to go fishing and take a kid along, you're too busy. I promise. And I'll see you. I'll see you guys next Monday. And watch the show if you're up early this Saturday. It's the same one as this past week. I say the same things. It's no doubt. Okay. All right. Let's finish this up. Share, like, share, all that kind of stuff. See you later.